Hi besties, what's up? My name is Makenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to a 24-hour readathon. So, I really hope this is what the mentals need because I have been struggling so bad this year. I don't know what it is, but I figured reading for 24 hours is probably gonna help. So, I just got off work actually, and my daughter's at my mom's house, so we're gonna go and hang over at their house. But I wanted to start this video. It is probably about 5:30 at this point, so I'll just start as soon as we get done. 5:30, it'll end 5:30. It'll probably end a little bit earlier tomorrow. I don't really have any plans tomorrow that I can think of, so we're just gonna do this. We're gonna hope that it works. I'm also going to be bricked off from social media for the most part all day tomorrow. I need to not have access to all my fun little apps that I like to be on. So I might give myself a little bit of Instagram time to post my video because I'm planning on editing and uploading a video today into tomorrow. So with that being said, let's get into my plans. So I know the first book that I'm going to start with, and that is Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. This is a new release. It just came out. I just got it in the mail yesterday. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really good. I hope it's really good. It's a shorty. It is like a little over 270 pages, I believe. So I'm really excited for this. So we have this on the dock. I believe that this is about, oh wow. The main character's name is Waldo. Wow. This kind of gives the vibes of, I can't think of the actual book title right now, but the main character's name is Vanessa. I'll put it right here, but it's kind of giving that. So I'm intrigued by that. So we'll see. So that's the first book we're going to start with. The second book that I'm going to read is actually a NetGalley arc that I got approved for, and it is The Witch Doesn't Drown in This One by Amanda Lovelace. I think I'm about halfway through that already, so I will keep track of pages that I read in this reading vlog, and I'll let you guys know kind of how many pages that I read, but I would like to finish that as well. And then, I don't know, I also want to read a book off of my 2026 TBR because I have not finished one of those yet, and I do need to at least finish one this month. I will be honest, it has not been my reading month. Unfortunately, I've only finished 2 books, and I'm planning on literally doing like a 24-hour readathon this week and then a 48-hour readathon next week. So we'll kind of see how that goes. We're more looking for pages read than books read. I'm not really that bothered by how many books I read in this readathon. I just want to finish something because I have not had that dopamine hit from finishing a book in a while. So we're gonna work on that. I don't know, is there anything else I can think of that I want to do? I really should try to at least read like 1 or 2 more books on my January TBR. I know that I didn't post that. I apologize. January has just been a weird month for my depression. It's made me think about going to the doctor and getting back on depression meds. So if that tells you how my mental health has been in January, there you go. But I'm feeling a lot better today, as you guys can tell. So yeah, I think that's really all. I might continue some of my I can't think of the word right now, but I might work on my pile of shame from last year because I still have quite a few books that I could have finished last year but I didn't, so we'll kind of see where that goes. I really should read an aardvark book because I have not read one of those in this month either. I think that's about it. So we're gonna start with Half His Age. I'm really excited about that one. I think it's gonna be good, like I said, and then we will just kind of go from there. Hopefully I can be successful and not getting sucked into social media because that has been my problem this whole month. Is I have an addiction and I thought that it was going to be a little bit easier to break it than it has been. I've just been in this depression cycle, and I've actually been bricked out of social media all day today, which it was pretty easy because I was at work, but I do think that maybe I need to do that more often throughout the week because, yeah, like I said, it's been rough. So I'm going to change, and I will just let you guys kind of know what I get up to. I probably won't talk to you until tomorrow morning, so I will talk to you cuties tomorrow morning. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I'll leave you to it. Hi Bessies, what's up? So it is the next day. Okay, there have been slight change of plans, but we will go over that later. I feel like you guys are really far away from me, but it's fine. It's fine. So, good morning, first of all. I don't think I've vlogged this early in the morning in a long time. So, hi. I have a lot of reading updates for you guys. So let's just slide in. Let's just slide in. I don't know why I said that. So first, I finished 2 books last night. That was well, I don't know. I don't know that I was really expecting to finish 2 books and start a 3rd book last night, but I did. So the first book that I finished was The Witch Doesn't Drown in This One by Amanda Lovelace. I don't feel like I have too many thoughts on this. I mean, it's a poetry collection. I feel like it's really hard to, I don't know, synopsize a poetry collection, and I can't really share some of my favorite poems with you because, you know, it's an arc, and I feel like I am pretty sure that's against the rules, so I'm not gonna do that. But what I can tell you is that I'm really glad that Amanda Lovelace has come back to this series. This is, I think it's either the 5th or 6th poetry collection in the series that she's come back to after multiple years of not writing in it. And one of the things she said was that she was not expecting to ever come back to this and write more poetry collections in this kind of like, not universe, but you know, she's never expecting to, and then just the world, unfortunately, inspired her. So I'm really glad that she did. I really need to bite the bullet and buy these books. They've been on my list to buy for a long time, and I really, really like them. I probably need to pre-order this one. Like I said, it was really good. I'm really glad that I read it. I rated that 3.75 stars. I feel like it didn't hit as hard because I've been so far removed from that series for a long time. So if there's another book that ever comes out and I'm ever able to get my grubby little mitts on an arc of that book, I will most definitely be rereading the other ones before I get into this one or the next one, but definitely one that I want for my shelves. I really liked it. Next, we have the second book, and I apologize that I didn't do a halfway check-in. I simply could not. I simply could not. So we have Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. I think this might be the fastest that I've read a new release. Like, it showed up to my door. Yesterday was Wednesday, right? So it showed up Tuesday, I think is when it came out, and I read it yesterday, all in one sitting pretty much. So let's talk about this book. Maybe first I'll tell you what it's about, and then we can kind of get into my thoughts, because I feel like my thoughts are going to kind of contradict each other, and I don't want to do that, but I think they're going to. So this book follows our main character, Waldo, and Waldo has a pretty crappy life. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. She has a pretty crappy life, and she doesn't have a good relationship with her mom. Her mom is kind of crappy. She's very neglectful, and she's borderline emotionally abusive as well. And so not only does she have that, but she also has a pretty severe shopping addiction and a kind of thirst that no boy in high school can quench. I will say, first and foremost, I understand that Waldo is 17, 18 in this book. It starts with a sex scene in this book, and I was kind of jarred by that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But yeah, I thought I would tell you guys there are multiple sex scenes with Waldo in this book. Okay, one sec. My toddler woke up. I was hoping I could do this before she woke, but I can't. Well, she's not making any sounds anymore. Probably trying to break out of her crib, which is concerning on a lot of levels. I'll be right back. Hopefully I can vlog while she's awake. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. This is always what stops me from doing 24-hour readathons, is that I literally cannot check in with you whenever I want to, because it's just almost nearly impossible to update you with a screaming feral child. All right, let's try to do this again. Oakley's distracted by her babies. So, first, obviously, I kind of talked about this a little bit already, but I wanted to continue on with my train of thought the best I can. So, let's see. Maybe I'll just start from the beginning. So, this book follows Waldo, and she is a 17-year-old girl who is really struggling with life, to be honest. Her mother is very absent in her life, and she's like a little bit like emotionally abusive. It's more like her mom had a baby to have a friend because she had to, not because she wanted to, if that makes sense. And she also has a pretty severe shopping addiction, on top of the fact that she just wants to feel wanted in a world that honestly it feels like it doesn't really want her that much. So she's kind of going about her life. She's not very satiated with the life that she's been given, obviously, and she's been trying to find that satiety, is that the word, in men. And unfortunately, she hasn't been able to find that until she realizes that she's starting to get a very intense crush on her teacher. Yeah. And it kind of goes from there. Now, at first, reading this book, the relationship that her and her teacher have does not cross the border. It seems like a slightly abnormal student-teacher relationship, but not like worryingly so. But as the book progresses, they get closer and closer, and it gets more inappropriate, I guess, and they end up having an affair. So, okay, I think I kind of mentioned this in my earlier clip, but I'm gonna say things that are a little bit contradicting. I apologize, but so this book was good. I gave it 4 stars, so I liked it. I'm gonna keep it. I want to reread it. I will say, this book felt very dry, and it was very, like, harrowing. There were not any moments, really, of happiness. There may have been one, but that's about it. The whole rest of it was just, like, depressing, because, I mean, at the very baseline of it, Waldo is just looking for acceptance from anybody. And I'm sure especially adults. She's never had a father figure. Her father left when she was really young. And then obviously her mother is just a piece of crap, we're being honest. And it's really hard to like read about it, because are there moments that her mom isn't like a terrible mom? Sure. But then it always ends up in the same toxic cycle. And it's really sad to read. Not only that, but this book reads like kind of dry. The chapters are very short. And I do think that part of that may have been the fact that Jeanette McCurdy did the voice narration herself on the audiobook. And while there's nothing wrong with that per se, I think that this book would have maybe benefited from an outsider looking in reading it, but also, I don't know, there's a sense of melancholy throughout this book, so it would make sense that she would narrate it. I feel like she just, because of her life experiences, I feel like I don't know, she has like deep melancholy within her, which makes sense. I haven't read I'm Glad My Mom Died, and I'm assuming that after reading that, I would feel like this is kind of like a little bit of a self-insert book. That's what I saw in Jan's review. She said that she felt like it may have been a little bit of a self-insertion, but it's hard to say. What's really interesting about this book is I don't think we ever get the teacher's name. No, she just calls him Mr. Corgi the whole book, which also gives it a little bit of a sense of like, I can't think of the word right now, but it's like she never even calls him by his name. And it's very like eerie almost. There's like a sense of disconnect. Also, what I found interesting about this is arguably, okay, there was like one teacher that was like in my high school that maybe could have been considered attractive. It was one. And it's like, there's like this disconnect, right? It's weird. And maybe I shouldn't be saying that on the internet, but like everybody has like one hot teacher in their school career, right? But it's one thing knowing that someone is objectively attractive to you, but it's a whole nother thing to basically go full force into that and, you know, get into it. And she started the relationship. No, it should have never been started. She started it, but then as the book progressed, he was kind of taking advantage of it, and that became a little bit of an emotionally abusive relationship as well. I mean, obviously, there's someone who is like in a higher power than someone else. Obviously, it's very like, it's icky, right? It's icky. It's unsettling. You just, you know. And there were lines in this that I read that literally made me want to crawl out of my skin. And they weren't necessarily like horrid lines, right? Well, one of them was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. But the other line wasn't necessarily like terrible, but it was like just the idea of being with someone twice my age really icks me. And I mean, that's basically like her teacher was twice her age. He was married, he had kids, he had this perfect life, and you kind of see how both of their lives are ruined by each other, which he rightfully, his life should have been ruined. And I don't know if this is a spoiler, but he never gets found out, and that makes it even worse because it kind of highlights the fact that there are a lot of people that probably get away with grooming children and being in relationships with them, especially on the high school level, because when you're in high school, especially like when you're in your senior year, you just want to be an adult, right? You just want to turn 18 and you want to go to college. Some of us wanted to go to college, and just start our lives, right? But then other people, and we don't really know what we're wishing away, right? Now, would I go back to high school? No. Couldn't pay me $1 million probably, but we don't know what we're wishing away when we're wishing it away, basically. And yeah, there's just no happy ending for anybody in this book, really. Like, and the main character is, I don't like to say this, right? But the main character isn't likable. I don't like her. I feel for her. I feel bad for her. I can acknowledge that what is happening to her in this book should not be happening. But I don't think a character has to be inherently, apparently I can't speak, likable for me to like a book, so it's not that big of a deal. There were some very powerful things that happened in this book. I will say, I won't go into it, but like there are some things that happened in this book, and I don't know how to explain it. It makes me, I can't really say what it is without, you know, saying what it is, but there are parts of this book that I did not like to read. I mean, obviously, like the vast majority of the book was a hard read, but there were other things that happened in this book that I didn't like, and it makes me think that maybe I should not read her autobiography. I don't know, or is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to think on it. I do think that I should read it, though. I think that I'll like it. I mean, everybody seems to like the book. I feel like that's the wrong way to phrase that sentence, but everybody seems to like I'm Glad My Mom Died. So, like I said, 4 stars. I really liked it. If you saw my initial rating on Goodreads, I rated it 3 stars, but I don't know. Just the feelings that it gave me, sense of unease it gave me, I felt like it needed to be 4 stars instead. So definitely keeping this. I really liked it. I love this cover too, by the way. Is this also Jeanette's face? Because she really went like the extra mile to not only write the book, but then to narrate it, and then to be on the cover. That's cool. But I will say too, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, for some reason I thought that it was like a thriller. I don't know why. Comes a sad, funny, thrilling novel. I guess I thought that it was like gonna be more thrilling than it was, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I would recommend this book. If you're interested in it, I would recommend it. I will say, Waldo, this is probably a spoiler too, but I do want to warn you guys. If you don't want any spoilers, I'd skip like 30 seconds. But Waldo never realizes what happened between her and her teacher is wrong. She just kind of like up and leaves the relationship. And even though that was what was best for her, it's kind of like how you don't realize something is wrong until after you've had years and years to like process it and think about it. So that is also something that you should probably know, but other than that, I would recommend it. So yeah, that. And then last night, color me shocked, okay? I have been reading this morning as well, but I saw House of Salt and Sorrows on my nightstand, and I was like, oh, I forgot that I bought that book. It's been on my TBR for a long time, and I've wanted to buy it for forever, and I'm assuming there must have been a sale or something on it, because yeah, like I said, it's kind of been out of sight, out of mind. It's like, I think it was on the bottom shelf of my like little nightstand thing. It's not really a nightstand, but I think it was covered by other books and I just kind of forgot about it. But when I saw it last night, I was like, I need to read this. So this book, if you don't know, follows our main character, Annalee. And sorry, maybe I need to blow my nose. Hey, sweet girl. Okay, this is so random, but Oakley's being such a good little girl. She's just laying on the floor on the blanket. She has her bottle too. I know I shouldn't have given her one, but it is what it is. She ate breakfast, so that's all I can ask for, is that she eats breakfast. And then, you know, that's fine. But anyway, this book follows our main character, Annalee. And after a string of very unfortunate circumstances, starting with the death of one of her sisters and now leading up to the death of another one of her sisters, I believe that they've lost like 3 or 4 in total, if I'm not mistaken. Life is looking pretty dire in Annalee's household, or at least so she thinks, until her stepmom announces a pregnancy and they decide to come out of mourning for the first time in multiple years. And Annalee has just never felt right about most of the deaths of her sisters, but especially this one just doesn't seem like something her sister would have done. And so she is trying to get to the bottom of this. And not only that, but she soon realizes that maybe there are ghosts walking the halls, and whether or not they're trying to tell her something is up for her to figure out. So I'm really loving this book. I'm really loving this book. I'm really happy that I'm reading it. I'm on page 177, chapter 19, and I love the writing. I really like Annalee as a character. I love this. I believe that it's comped to like 12 Dancing Princesses, and I really like that movie. This is making me want to watch that movie so bad, but I'm really liking this. We have the the elements of horror, the elements of fantasy that I love. I love YA fantasy horror books, or YA horror books in general. I need to read more of them this year. I always forget how much I love them, but I've pretty much loved every single one that I've read. So I need to remember that as 2026 progresses. But I'm really glad that I like saw this and was like, oh, I should read that, because after finishing Half His Age, I was not sure. I was like, ugh, do I even want to read anything now? That book kind of made me not want to read anything else. So I'm glad that I saw this out of the corner of my eye. Obviously not on my 2026 TBR, not on my Aardvark TBR, but it's fine. As long as I'm reading books off of my TBR, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So we're going to continue on with this. Like I said, I'm really liking it. I have really, really good vibes. I will say I am slightly concerned that I know what's going on. I think I know who the killer is. I have a couple people that I think it could be, but yeah, I definitely think I know who it is, unfortunately. And I mean, we're only halfway through the book, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would make sense if this is who it was. So I won't tell you who I think it is because it's spoilers, but I'm really liking this. I'm loving the writing. I'm loving the atmosphere. I'm just loving everything about this book. So I'm excited to continue on with it. Hopefully by the next time you see me, I will have finished it. Oakley will probably be down for a nap next time I see you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna read this and then we'll kind of figure out where to go from there. Now, there has been a little bit of a change of plans. I don't know if I told you guys this morning when I was trying to vlog earlier, but Steven is gonna be gone tonight. He usually does volunteer firefighter stuff on Thursday nights, usually. Just depends on the week. But he's going tonight, and my parents are actually going to a retirement dinner for one of my dad's friends that coworkers, I don't know. One of his acquaintances. They're going out to celebrate his retirement. So actually, no, I think it is his friend. I think he is his friend. I'm pretty sure he's his friend. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Semantics, Makenzie. So I think I might add a little bit more time onto the timer. I started at about 6:30, maybe like 6:45. I can't really fully remember, but I started around there. I do have a 24-hour timer, so I will let you guys know when it goes off. I do think that I'm probably going to extend this readathon a little bit until maybe like 9:30 or 10 o'clock whenever Steven gets home tonight. So that gives me like an extra 4 hours-ish of wiggle room, 3.5, 4 hours. So we'll kind of see what I get up to then. But I figured that that would give me enough time to at least read like maybe 1.5 to 2 more books, which would be great. So yeah, I'm really happy with all that I've been reading so far. I feel like this has been a pretty successful readathon. I probably need to read something a little bit more happy and upbeat for my next book though, because let me tell you, the poetry collection, kind of sad, kind of empowering, but kind of sad. And then Half His Age was just like a downer, obviously, as it should be, with the topic at hand. And then House of Salt and Sorrows is really good, but it's also very sad. So I guess we're just in our sad girl moment right now, but I should probably try to find something else. I don't know. I've been eyeing Binding 13. There's no way I'd be able to finish it in this vlog, so I won't choose that one, but I have been thinking about it, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, let's just get back to the reading, because I'm having a really good time. I'm really happy that I've been able to like kind of keep up with this. Let's get back to reading. Hi besties, what's up? So it is actually a little bit later in the day than I thought that I'd be making this update, but that's okay. We have finished book number 3 for the readathon. So, oh, also, yes, I did wash my hair. Thank you for noticing. It is not as greasy and nasty as it was this morning. I apologize. There is a good solid, like, honestly, Tuesday and Wednesday, there's no time to wash my hair. So I have to live on a prayer that it'll stay fresh enough. And it did not this time, but she is clean now. I obviously took a break to take a shower, and then I took about an hour break when Steven got home for lunch, and I didn't really read when he was here, but it is time to tell you about the book that I finally finished, House of Salt and Sorrows. I am so happy that I read this. Let me tell you, House of Roots and Ruin and The 13th Child are now like on my TBR. They were already like, I would say somewhere like in the middle or in the top like 1/3 of books that I want to read, but it has definitely skyrocketed. I loved this book. I loved the writing. I loved the characters. I slightly guessed who the killer was, slightly. There was a little bit more intrigue that came with that I was not privy to. But this book has such a sinister undertone. That's the word I was looking for when I was talking about Half His Age, was that book feels so sinister. It's empty. You ate it. She eats chapsticks for fun. I don't know why, but she does. Here, there's a chapstick out in the living room. Go get it. Where's your baby? I hear her crying. Of course, she's in here. Anywho, this book is very sinister. It's very dark. I was actually surprised by the amount of darkness that's in this book. Considering that it's YA, but it is very sinister, very dark. There were a couple of like images that stirred in my mind while reading this book that I was not a fan of, especially one of them right before I went to bed last night. Luckily, I don't remember my dreams from last night. I feel like I had bad dreams, but I don't remember them. And it had nothing to do with this, but I loved this. I loved the storytelling. Like I said, I loved the characters. I am just so excited to read the other 2 books. I think that House of Roots and Ruin is the second book in the series, and then The 13th Child, I believe, is also in this universe. So I'm really excited to read those. I might ask my parents for those for my birthday, because I haven't really known what to ask them for, but I might ask them for the next 2 books kind of in this universe and then read them this year. That's going to be so exciting. I can read them in February when I go on, Steven and I are going on a little like week-long trip to go and help my brother and sister-in-law out with their kids while they go on a trip. And you best believe I'm packing like an obscene amount of books to go. I'm probably going to pack like 5 plus my Kindle and my Kobo, so all of the books in the world basically. But I love this, 4.5 stars. Can I also say, I know that have I said that I loved the writing? The writing was so good in this book. It was so good. I was not expecting it from this book. Not that I was expecting anything bad per se, but like I was not expecting to love this book so much in some ways, and then in other ways I was expecting to love it about this much. So I'm really happy about this. This is probably officially my favorite book that I've read this year, actually, because let's see. My first book of the year was Waiting for Spring. What even was my second book? I know that it was off of my physical TBR, but I don't remember what it was. And then obviously the poetry collection and Half His Age. I think that this is my favorite book of the year so far, so that's exciting. So, I'm gonna take another break. I know. I'm gonna take about a 20-minute break, which is shorter now because I've been recording, but I decided I wanted like an actual fantasy novel instead of like a horror fantasy. And so I picked these 3 books from my shelves. Ash Princess, A Wilderness of Stars, and Hollow. And I put a poll up on a Patreon Discord that I'm a member of, and we're gonna see what they choose. I'm only gonna give them about 20 minutes. I did put the poll at 4 hours, but I mean, last time I looked, there were 3 votes, but the poll has been skewing towards these two. And what I was going to do was I was going to let the poll run for a full 4 hours or whatever it was and read The Maddening Darkness, by Shay Earnshaw. But then I realized, like, I don't know if I really want to read 2 Shay Earnshaw books back to back in this readathon. So if for some reason, like, what I predict is going to happen is that Hollow is going to win and not A Wilderness of Stars. And if that's the case, then I might end off the readathon with The Maddening Darkness or whatever I just said. I know that I own that book. I don't know where it is though, so maybe I shouldn't read that one. I have a couple other shorties that I could also read if I finish. It's gonna be Hollow. It's gonna be Hollow, I have a feeling, which is probably gonna take me up the rest of the time plus a little bit of reading tomorrow if I had to make a guess. So we'll just see what happens, but very excited to read any one of these. These were like, this was the first book I thought of, but then I realized I also wanted to read this, and you know, Hollow has been staring at me all month, so we're gonna see. I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. I'm having such a great time. Honestly, this is what my mental health needed. I have not been doing great in the mental health department, hence why you have hardly seen any videos from me, but I'm feeling a lot better now. So I'm gonna commence with my 20-minute reading break, and then we are going to get into whatever book they choose for me next. I bet it's gonna be Hollow, but I've been shocked before, so I'll talk to you cuties in a little bit with first updates on whatever book I start. Hi cutie pies, what's up? Sorry, I feel like we've updated the vlog in this exact spot like 5 million times, but time has passed. I mean, I guess I look different in every frame or every situation anyway, so it might not matter, but did you guys hear her? She's saying wow, 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 wow because her baby is crying. Oh, she's so funny. Okay, anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, the poll has ended. I mean, it hasn't ended yet. I still think I have quite a bit of time. But Hollow won. Or Hollow was winning at the point that I checked it last. I let it run for an hour, actually. And I believe that poll was like 60% this and then 20% on both of the other ones. So I started Hollow, and while I was cooking dinner, I got, I was listening to it, and I got page 119. I'm really liking this so far. With books with forests in them, it is not hard to, like, I don't know. It's not hard to, like, make me happy. Like, I love books with forests in them. Forests that are, like, alive. I love that. So, in this book, we are following our main character. Sorry, I don't remember her name. And, of course, it doesn't say her name. Sorry. Ferris. We follow our main character, Ferris. And she lives in this world where basically the forest will kind of, like, take over lands and people have to keep moving continuously so that they don't get stolen by the forest and basically killed by the forest is what's happening to these people. So, there's a certain point in the year, every year I believe, where they send these band of warriors or soldiers or whatever, the chosen basically, and they go into this forest, and basically the name of the game, from what I've discerned so far from the book, is that not only are they trying to find like the most relics, but they're trying to stay alive, and whoever stays alive and gets the most relics gets a wish, I believe is what's happening. I could be wrong. I mean, this is like an almost 600 page book, a little under, it's 543. So that's all that I've really discerned from it so far, but I'm really liking it. I will say I'm very intrigued to see where this goes, because Ferris is actually someone who has not been trained since basically birth to do this competition. She has just been kind of training herself with books. She's been kind of burying her nose in books and learning everything that she can about this competition and the things that live out in the woods and kind of how to overcome that. And if they win and someone wins the wish or whatever, I believe that the forest will stop bothering people, is my understanding. I could be wrong, again, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of the gist of it. It's very interesting, and I'm very intrigued by the male POV that we're getting in here. I'm assuming it's this guy who's very handsome, but he seems, I can't tell if he's fae or not. It seems like maybe he was fae at one point and then he, like, I don't know, then he like reincarnated and now he's like a human fae hybrid. I'm not really sure. It seems like he is kind of there to be like an opposition to all the people that are doing this competition, which is interesting. So very excited to be in this world. I have not read anything from the Twisted Sisters in so long. I feel so bad. Last year I was hellbent on doing reading vlogs, like spoiler filled annotation vlogs for the whole whole, what's the series called? Zodiac Academy series. Because I read the first book and really liked it, and then I just never continued on with the rest of the books, but I never got around to it. It is a pretty big commitment to buy like 10 million books, so that's not why. That's not why. Let's not get it twisted. My time management skills when I made that promise, not the best, still working on that, but hopefully this will kick me in the pants and it'll make me want to read Zodiac Academy again. So I am really liking this. Now I'm gonna say this, and okay, here's the thing. I would not have finished this book regardless of anything before the end of the night. I will probably read until 10, and I believe it's about 7 now, if not a little bit later than that. So you guys, I'm not gonna be finishing this book within the allotted time frame, but what I will try to do, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging, like I'm sure you guys want my opinions, what I'm going to attempt to do instead is I'm going to try to finish this by like Saturday afternoon. I believe my husband has to work, so I can vlog, tell you my final feelings, hopefully in the morning of Saturday, and we can kind of end the vlog, but I'm hopeful that I can get at least halfway through. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. Even if I was to get like, I mean, honestly, it would be kind of nice if I was able to get like 350 pages into it tonight. I don't know if that's possible, but it's reading fast. I really wasn't expecting to be 119 pages in. Like I said earlier, I wasn't expecting that when I picked up the book to check where my progress was, but soup has been made, soup has been eaten. Now all there is left to do is read. Okay, my lips, I don't know what is with. Do my lips look blue to you guys? I don't know what that's about. I'm fine. I don't know, maybe it's just the lighting in the room, but I will see you cuties in a little while. With hopefully halfway updates. Hopefully I should be able to do, what is it, like 275 pages before Steven gets home and update you guys again. But if I can't, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I will update you definitely before he comes home though. So I'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, hi besties. Third time is a charm, I hope. So, I'm gonna give you cliff notes of what I have said in the past 2 segments of this video that I've tried to film. I keep getting distracted and losing my train of thought, but here is the sitch. I read up until 6:30, so about an hour passed, maybe like 6:45, so about an hour passed. When my timer was supposed to go off, I accidentally like deleted it. That seems to be a theme with me. Every time I try to do a 24-hour readathon, I delete the timer somehow. So it ended up getting deleted. And really what I should have done was I probably should have ended this video right after I finished House of Salt and Sorrow. And I apologize that I did not do that. I should have. I shouldn't have started Hollow. I really thought I was going to be able to make time to squeeze it in. But after Steven left, me and Oakley had a little bit of a rough time. I'm not gonna lie. Usually what happens is he will leave. We'll go to my parents' house, we'll chill with them for a little while, and then we'll come home, and by the time we get home, Steven is maybe like 30 minutes to an hour out. But we had about a pretty rough stint for about 30 minutes to an hour, and I don't know. It's just hard having a toddler sometimes. And I'm not complaining about her. I'm complaining about her actions, because when she hits me in the face multiple times, knocks my glasses off of my face, and yells at me and throws tantrums, it's a little bit overwhelming for me. And I haven't talked about this to anybody, I don't think, but so I have ADHD. I'm literally like diagnosed. I have ADHD. I don't take anything for it. I really should. I've been thinking about going to the doctors and getting on something, but I didn't realize how closely ADHD and autism were kind of aligned. And after having a child, I am like 99% sure that I have autism, because even though I was always like pretty overstimulated, whatever, I had kind of found peace within myself and stuff. And then we had Oakley, and just everything is overstimulating now. The air that I'm breathing, kind of, and I've said overstimulating too much, and now I'm starting to feel it. Heart is starting to race a little bit, so I need to stop saying it. But it's kind of like led me some self-discovery, and right now, not the time to be diagnosed with autism, let me tell you. I won't even talk about the Tylenol thing, but so I'm not gonna go and spend money to get tested. I don't think I need to do that. There are other things that make me believe that, like, there are other things. So anywho, back to Oakley. So she's asleep now. Steven is on his way home. I need to speed myself up a little bit. But basically after that, like, even when I was getting her to sleep, I didn't really want to read. I actually don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to scroll. I don't want to read. I don't want to do anything, really. I just kind of want to go and lay in bed and go to sleep. So we're probably just going to go and lay in bed and go to sleep. I might read for an extra 30 minutes, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, regardless, I think it is very highly unlikely. I think it is very highly unlikely that I am going to finish Hollow before I want this video to come out, because basically I have tomorrow to edit it, Saturday to finish editing it, and then it's going to go up Saturday. So I'm sorry. I know that really sucks. I wish it was different, but I wanted to take some breaks in between reading books, and that's what I did, and I don't regret that. I think it was a good balance today of like listening / reading books and doing what I felt like I needed to do and playing with Oakley and stuff. So I feel like there was actually a pretty decent balance for the first time in the past month, because you guys, the January scaries have been real for me. I've been having a really rough 3 weeks, and that's why you guys haven't seen me much. That's why I haven't been finishing books like I usually do. So I haven't been I've been trying to vlog, but I just cannot muster up enough, I don't know, chipperness to film, and it makes me sad. But I think we are coming to the end of that. I hope. I don't know. It's just been rough, and I have been on my phone far too much, and I think that that's what's making me depressed. So this was really needed for the mental healths. I might need to end out this video tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know. With all that being said, at least I'm sorry. I feel like I cannot keep my thoughts straight right now. I honestly kind of want to cry. I'm not sad. I'm doing great. I just want to cry a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I hope you guys don't mind that I'm not finishing Hollow in this vlog. I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't bother you guys that I'm not finishing Hollow. I'm so sorry. It bothers me so much personally when I'm doing a 24-hour readathon and I don't finish the books like that I'm in the middle of. But you guys, I'm 120 pages into, like, how many pages did we decide that was? Like 563 or something like that. It's not happening tonight, and it's not happening within the next 3 days. I have to work all day tomorrow, so it's definitely not happening tomorrow. And I apologize for that. I am liking it. You guys will see my thoughts in some aspect. I will probably start another reading vlog maybe tomorrow night. I'm not sure, where it feels pointless to try to vlog during the weekends because Steven is home and I can't vlog in front of that man to save my life. I've tried, but he literally sits and stares at me. Read social cues, Steven. Go in the room. Leave me alone, please. But I'm really happy with the amount of reading I got done. I have not been able to finish a book for weeks, so this is a step in the right direction, people. Like, I have literally over doubled the amount of books that I've read this month alone in just the past 2 days, in just the past 24 hours, which is good. So I will take that as a win. So let's wrap up what I read really quickly before Steven comes home. First, we finished The Witch Doesn't Drown in this one. I gave that one 3.75 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that I got to it. Really grateful for Neck Alley for giving me an arc, even though they didn't have a choice because it was on automatic approval. Then we finished Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. Rated that one 4 stars. I feel like saying I enjoyed that book, not good verbiage, but I did like the book. I'm excited to reread it eventually. We have House of Salt and Sorrows. I loved that book. You guys know that I loved that book. I rated it 4.5 stars. I actually asked for the other 2 books in that kind of universe for my birthday that's coming up next week, and then I also ordered Small Favors tonight. So I'm excited to get those. And then obviously I read about 120 pages of Hollow, and I'm really enjoying that. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you aren't too sad with me, but if you like me, if you like seeing my face, hit the like button. If you want to see my face again, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, honestly, I'd follow me on Instagram. That's where you're going to get all the first updates. But if you don't have an Instagram, cross your fingers and hope the notification bell works. And with all that being said, I will see you cuties in the next one very, very soon. Bye, everyone.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're